Episode 111.
111. Happy KOTG Tuesday.
What's up? What's up?
We don't have Bill for a hey yo. Missing Bill.
Got a couple really not new faces actually. So got a couple of KOTG alum, KOTG one of the week alum with us tonight, and the president himself.
What's up, fellas? Welcome
What's
to
happening?
the show. Now you guys get to interact live with everybody. You don't have to worry about chats. You guys are usually
what you
pretty
pouring
active
now?
in the chat.
Is it a Guinness?
Blue Moon.
Oh, Blue
Blue
Moon.
Moon. I need that vitamin C, so I got some orange in the bottom. Maybe I kick this crud.
You gotta get that D too.
Mm-hmm. I got D in a bottle. Well, actually, the sun was out today. That's the best vitamin D is the sun.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go.
I got my photosynthesis.
Hey, LTZ with us $1.99. Thank you, LTZ.
Thank you, LTZ.
Appreciate that. Westside Lawn was just asking if you're feeling better, Olee.
Somewhat. Yeah, but then I start coughing. Yeah.
You can at least
I
talk
feel
a
better.
little bit.
I feel better. I don't know if I sound or look any better, but I do feel better.
Yeah, you do sound better.
Such an idiot. I was on mute that whole time.
I wonder what you were doing.
Amateur hour, dude.
Come on, man.
Gosh, my first time.
You're very animated there.
Just because you got that skin-colored shirt on, you're supposed to be shirtless.
So I know we gotta grab a glass here yet, but Brian, I can't help but looking at these this view, man. This is amazing. Brian sent this to us earlier today. Just another day.
Yeah, just another day here in Utah, man. Just
that
driving
Amazon
around
truck is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I think those are like the new electric ones down over by Provo. They were trying to be all cool, like. But yeah,
you guys thought the mountains were cool. Sorry. You
just see this
Justin's
every
used
day.
to looking at it. Yeah, we look at the other stuff around.
Yep.
But that was one thing I said when I moved here 3 years ago. Is I never wanted to get tired of looking at the mountains, so I try to look at them as much as I can. So, for those that are keeping a tally, our ski resorts in the area are reporting about 750 inches of snow this winter. So, it's going to be around for a while. Some of the ski resorts say they're going to stay open until May 1st. So like the longest they've ever have done. So
Man, I see Taco Bell. Y'all got Mexican pizzas out there?
Dude, they suck. I got one a while back, and you have to have a spoon to eat it because it was just like mush. It wasn't much of a Mexican pizza. But yeah, let's go ahead and grab a glass before we get into it tonight, and keep off the grass.
Someone's got to take the bush tonight.
Bush. There you go, Nate. You're somewhere in the world.
He was in the chat there for a second, saying he had a long work week, so he was, I think, chilling with the family, or maybe he's still at work. But he said, "Drink one for me, fellas." And you're doing that for him.
I can do that. I will take that responsibility.
Just one, right?
Yeah.
Every other one's his.
There you go.
And Drew's got his cool KOTG coffee mug with coffee, right? Love seeing that.
Heck yeah.
What are you drinking, Zach?
Well, I'm actually off the rest of the week. And I actually have some tequila. Yeah, we got some tequila tonight, so
all right.
I'm ready to roll.
Casamigos or whatever?
Yes, sir. And Fresca. Mixed with Fresca.
Wow. How about a Fresca?
If the layout starts getting kind of cross-eyed and stuff like that, we'll know why. Try to recover from that, but cool. Well, some of you guys know, I mean, last week we talked about spring. We talked about our spring plans, but we we barely scratched the surface on it, so we kind of wanted to revisit spring again, and we wanted to kind of talk about maybe some of your guys' to-do lists. And it doesn't necessarily, I mean, we did talk about some lawn, but we got two new guys on tonight that can talk about their lawn spring plans, but any to-do list, right? We got landscaping. You know, somebody, I want to say his West Side Lawn was talking about mulching in the mulch bed, you know, or garden beds. You guys get garden beds ready. I'm going to be cleaning out the garage, so I'll talk about that a little bit later. But anything like that. Zach, you want to go first before?
Yeah, so, well, currently I'm a little all over the place because, one, my mower, it's still tore apart, and you know it's just being worked on. I'm having a hard time finding a seal for it, since it's such an old mower, but I got a custom one ordered for it, but so I didn't think I was gonna have to mow for a while, but now it's like every day I'm greening up more and more, so I'm kind of getting a little nervous because I don't have my mower ready, but then so also with that kind of gray area, my soil test is out. I'm waiting on the results, and from there, you know, I'll come up with what I'm going to apply. It's still a little too early for me to put down a pre-emergent. I probably could put it down and be fine right now, but so my next thing I will probably be doing is my pre-emergent. But my priority right now is my mower. What
are your soil temps right now? Do you know?
I don't know. Like today it was, air temp was like 49. It was like, it's been in the 40s. Air temp, so
cool. So mower first, and then lawn application after that. I know you usually do a really big garden. You get some amazing produce over the summer and fall and stuff. What do you usually do to prep up your garden bed or garden area?
I had a little cover crop on it last year, just of some wheat and rye. So I got to just till that up or crimp it. I got to get that cleaned up, which I plan on doing that this week. But I probably won't plant. As far as like, I'm just kind of probably going to get the bed ready and get the garden ready, but I'm not going to really plant anything until probably like after Mother's Day.
Do you like do a rototill it all up from like last year? Or do you do it in the fall or do you in the spring?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I just use the hoe.
Yeah. Put it to work.
Yeah. But yeah, sometimes I'll just it's not really like that compacted. Yeah. So I can use I can just break it up real quick.
You got that good Ohio dirt, huh?
I guess.
Most of us, like, I remember rototilling all the years that, we growing up and stuff like that. My dad would always get out and do the rototiller, and we'd always follow behind and clean up all the mess and stuff that it dug up, the cornfields and we had like a half-acre garden and stuff. So that's what I always think of, breaking that up, getting ready to plant the garden, put the rows down and stuff like that.
And also why I don't use why I just don't go and till the whole thing is because I have perennials in it. So I have to go around some of the perennials. So I do have like a little electric, it's actually a Sunjo. I bought that like so long ago, like probably 6 years ago. I've had that thing. Wow. And it still works good for what I need it for. And yeah, just going around the perennials I always hit at least one a year, and I knock out a perennial. So
funny. Well, Olee, you've already man, I don't know if you even have a spring to-do list because you've already been doing it most of the time.
Oh, what's up, Brent?
I got
Brent. Oh, look who it is.
Hey, boys. I fell asleep with my kid, and I just woke up. So,
hell yeah,
how's it going, everyone?
Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry for the late arrival.
Hey, better late than never.
Yeah, man.
So, Olee, what do you got going on? You have any upcoming projects? I mean, you're usually the king of projects. I remember you cutting rocks out and covering up rocks and stuff. So, what is the pool yard going to have going on here soon?
A lot of mulch to get down. Cut bed edges. The big natural area needs a lot of. It's going to take some man hours. So I need to cut an edge, and then it's got a good bit of fall to it. So when I cut those edges, if you're not careful, the way the fall is, it just turns into basically a river, and it will wash all the mulch, to the lowest point. So going to do some river stone river rock, I guess is the way to put it. River rock, going to do some of that for like a foot to 18 inches on the edge to where the water will be in there. And then also once that edge is cut, you can just let the mower deck hang over and you don't have to do any weed eating or anything. And then from there in will be mulch.
So what do you use?
And then got the half moon edger that you stand on.
Wow.
You just
just a hand.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's rough.
You don't have something you can tow that
I don't know anything that will make it's labor intensive, but once you cut the edge and then you take a shovel and you cut it back to the bottom of that, you just get such a really clean, neat job. And then
it's so clean.
And then the grass grows up from there and the mower can just hang over. Mm-hmm. And then you have your mulch starts down in the bottom. It's just really clean.
You'll be able to skip the gym that week too.
Right. Probably be really back and knees be killing me. Probably be finding something for pain.
Right.
But and then all the rock, I'm going tomorrow to get 2 tons of rock, and so a lot of projects. And then going to start on all my outside lighting is basically just crapped out over the years. So getting ready to start a lighting project too. So that whole, all those river birches in there will be uplit. And then the wall out there, the retaining wall is going to be lit with wall lights. So a lot of stuff.
Are you going to do permanent Christmas lights too? Because I think if any one of us were to do permanent Christmas lights outside of our house, you'd be the guy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have those things like Lucky Stripes has got, Jason Riley.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
Easter lights right now.
Yeah, he's got the Easter going on now.
I hate those lights.
Oh, why is that?
Because everyone who has them has to justify them. So, like, it'll be like Saturday night, and all of a sudden they're like playing red, white, and blue lights. I'm like, what is going on? And all their lights are off. They're not even home. They're just jamming somewhere.
They're like making up holidays so they can turn them on.
Yeah, dude. I think it's cool, but yeah, there's a lot of weird people around me who use them for weird stuff. But
Yeah.
You think they think you're weird?
but if I spend that much money on them, I'd be like, these are on every night. KOTG Tuesday, green lights. Blah, 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 blah.
Green and white.
Yeah,
There you
dude.
go.
Yep,
Every time.
Tuesdays. I like it.
That's true. What do you got going on, Jason?
Me?
Yeah, what's
Projects.
on your agenda?
Dude, I got absolutely hammered with snow mold, so I got to figure out how to get my grass to survive that, and then we'll figure out everything else. But no, I'm doing. I'm not a big fan of like soil tests and stuff. I usually just fake it. So this year I'm doing some soil tests. I got a lot. You guys seen my backyard? What?
Did you already do your soil test or
No.
He doesn't
No,
know.
probably,
It's on your agenda?
I probably should. No, yeah, it's to do. It's the to-do list, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah, I haven't done them yet. I haven't done anything, but
I need to remember that. It's a babe, it is a to-do list. It's not a done list. I have to remember that.
It's never done.
yeah, no, I keep adding to it. But like big projects, I got to get the backyard going back into shape. Get the kids a trampoline back there and a buried one, in-ground one, so I don't have to mow under it.
Yes.
And
So how would you do
yeah,
that? Like you got to get a machine to come in to do that?
dude, there's some guy like down the street. He quoted me like $1,500 to do it. I'm like, dude, just do it. He'll have it done in a day. I could rent a machine
to come out with his half moon cutter thing and cut out a big circle.
I bring the mini X for that.
Yeah, every time I rent a mini X or something, I end up like just digging holes everywhere because it's so much fun. So I'm like, oh, I could plant a tree here in 10 years and over here and rip this corner of the house off.
Yeah, I would do that too.
Yeah, there would be a lot of like, oh, yeah, we do a fire pit right here.
I'd be like, you know what would be freaking great? Have a moat. That's what I need. A moat around my house. And then like, before you know, I would get totally carried away. Oh,
Yeah, and since I can't have beers while operating machinery at work, when I get home with the mini, I'm like, I'm gonna have a beer while I sit here and run this thing. And then one turns into 12 and things get out of hand.
Digging holes in neighbors.
Before you know
12 turns into a moat.
Pool.
Yeah. But yeah, that's like yard projects is just that. And then I got a ton of projects inside the house though. Holy cow. That's a
You said you're
whole
doing
other
your
day.
basement, right? You're gonna get started on your basement soon too.
Yeah, hoping to start framing here in a week or so.
Nice.
And then yeah. Get my kids out of my hair.
So are you doing you have the little side strip that you had ryegrass in. Are you gonna do ryegrass again? Or are you gonna go to something else?
So I overseeded it with some other ryegrass, and I wasn't super happy with it because I get a lot of snow mold over there because it's north facing, so it doesn't get a lot of sunlight. The snow never melts. So I wasn't happy with it last year. So this year I threw some, or or I'm going to throw some Kentucky bluegrass down in it.
All right.
I'm losing already. My neighbor's grass has grown into it. You can see where it's kind of not changing color, so I might as well just take over with Kentucky blue. I still love it. It's great grass. It looks good, but like his grass has already grown like a foot into mine. So
Wow.
I'm like, why battle it? Just accept it. And just put better Kentucky bluegrass in.
Yeah, maybe do a spot in the back or something that's just ryegrass. That way it's more protected.
Yeah, I got a little area in the backyard that I'm thinking about doing it again because I don't know, man. The ryegrass is beautiful, but it's a lot of upkeep because it doesn't fill in when it dies. So
it doesn't spread, right? Most ryegrass doesn't spread, so
yeah, it's
constant overseed.
Yeah, which sometimes I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So
Drew, you're kind of a little bit in Olee's boat, and you're ahead of us. You're ahead of the rest of us, I think, as far as mowing. Like you've mowed a few times, right?
Yeah, I've been kind of hot and heavy. I had a goal to mow every month this year, and I'm on pace.
Wow.
So it was kind of it was a charity mow in January and February, but I got out there and did it anyway.
Okay. In December, what was like early December you mow or what?
Yeah, early December was like my last mow of the year. And then we haven't had like any snow. That's what we were talking before the show. I shoveled one time and it was basically just to get out of the house. I didn't have to go out and shovel, but I wanted to get out of the house. As far as like spring to-do list, it's slowly turning into a done list. I bought that power rake off of Facebook Marketplace. I got that thing up and running. I hit the backyard with it last week and it's recovered nicely. And then I hit a couple spots last night with it again out back and threw some seed down. I've got some dormant seeding coming up out front in a couple patches that I needed to fill in. I got my garden beds moved from along my house, kind of in a more heavily shaded area, down along my back fence line to hopefully get some more yields out of that this summer. Other than that,
or that Dethatcher or whatever you bought, is it a snapper? Was that what it was?
Yeah, it's an old snapper. I think it's like a 96.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's
awesome. It's a Dethatcher?
It's a power rake.
Oh, power rake. Okay.
Yeah. So I think with that addition, I think I've sold my Sunjoe to a coworker. So things are picking up here in the spring for me.
Hey, what do you guys think about like dethatching? Because I always hear like you're not supposed to do it, but man, I love to hit my lawn in the spring, and I feel like it just like I think my lawn just thrives on just being torn up and beat up, and then it comes back stronger. Does that sound crazy?
I was just gonna ask that same thing because I dethatched right in the fall time, and I'm like, man, I kind of want to dethatch again when it's gets a little warmer. So I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't touched my front with the Dethatcher or that power rake, and I probably won't this year. But I wanted to kind of fluff everything up from one. I've got extreme shade all winter in the backyard, just the way my house sits, and my dog's out there on it all the time. So I wanted to get some good airflow moving into that, and it seems to have done a hell of a job.
I agree though. I think my lawn responds well too when I kind of beat it up, dethatch it.
I have a power rake and I rent it out, and people are like, how often should I do this? I'm like, every couple of years. But then at my house, I'm like, oh, it's been 6 weeks. Let's beat this girl up again. Oh, that sounded terrible.
No, I hear you.
That That was the wrong words to choose, but
I mean, I have done it in the spring. I've done it. I wouldn't say I do it as a, a practice, but I have done it in the spring. Sure.
Yeah. This is the first spring that I've done it. And I'm happy with the results.
When you did it, were you completely not dormant, or was there certain spots that could have been dormant still?
Me last week?
Yeah. Oh, you did it last week?
Yeah, I did it last week. It was awake. The only spots that I have that are dormant in my backyard are the couple patches of zoysia that I still got hanging on that I want to try and take care of. Dude, that's a beast. That's aggressive.
That's actually.
Is that a new one?
This is my overseed attachment.
Okay.
So it's going to go on in the fall. Yeah, it's very
used.
Nice.
Oh, it's so heavy.
Do you have the hopper for that thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You might as well do a couple curls while you got it. Oh, look at that. Zip that up, boy.
I'm glad those are pants. I'm glad the skin colored pants too.
Yeah, matches. Never got
I was
that
trying to figure out when we first got on if he was shirtless or not. And then
Man, I forgot you guys could see that.
If it's the red light.
Give it time. He probably will be shirtless by the end.
Yeah.
It's cold out here, man. I might put a shirt back on.
Yeah.
So
all right, Brent, what do you got?
I don't really have any projects planned. Nothing that I'm really working on. I have in my backyard, I have kind of the one space. I guess that would be, let's see, the south side of my lawn along the fence has always been a kind of like a hard to grow area. And so, it looks like incredibly beat up. It's just a combination of really kind of crappy, I guess you could say crappy sunlight, just the way that the sun hits back there. But yeah, I guess like along the south fence has always just been a disaster to grow grass. It seems that I always have to end up planting in the spring. So when I went around and did my pre-emergent, I kind of stayed away from that area, just maybe, 3 feet off the fence line. So I'm going to give it another week or two. Everything's starting to kind of wake up. I've noticed a lot of color coming back. I am noticing that, I'm starting to see a little bit of growth. So, I'll give it another couple weeks and I'll see what is growing back over there. If I can start seeing any little sprouts where, hopefully just, some blades snapped off but it just looks, very bare over there and crappy. So I might end up throwing some seed at that. But the big thing that I'm interested in and I'm really excited about is kind of along my side yard that I did last year where I just tilled the whole thing up and leveled everything out and did the 365 SS, like just straight 365. I'm excited to see how that comes in once everything really starts waking up. And taking care of that and seeing how low I can kind of maintain it, because that was the kind of whole deal with doing it. Was I wanted to see, what it took to maintain that just straight 365 and how low I could maintain it throughout the course of the year. So I'm excited about that. The one thing I didn't anticipate when I did that whole project that I didn't really fully think through was that's where I keep my trash cans. It's on the side of my house over there. So what ended up happening it went into wintertime. Everything was looking really good over there. It was holding its color. It was looking great. And I just did not anticipate the fact that I keep my trash cans over there and I was going to have to walk on it. And so there were a couple frosty mornings where I didn't take the trash out, or, kind of frosty evenings. And I went to go take the trash out where I did trample on it and break those grass blades off and kind of trashed them. So the color's not terribly great over there right now. So I'm excited to see kind of like how it comes back. I haven't put any fertilizer down yet, obviously. So I'll probably end up doing that here in the next couple weeks. But hopefully I don't have to do too much to get that back. Hopefully just, feeding it and letting it come back to life will be fine. It's probably because it got trampled, with the frost, and a lot of those grass blades did die. Might just take a little bit longer coming back than I anticipated, but I'm excited to see what that ends up doing this year. So I don't really have any big projects though, so to speak. Typical stuff. Gonna mulch all the beds
already, right?
What's that?
You already put down a pre-emergent, correct?
Yeah, I did that. I don't know. I guess maybe even a month ago at this point, 4 weeks ago. I went out, cleaned up the whole yard, got all the little sticks and those sweet gum tree seed pod balls, picked all that crap up, and gumballs.
Hate them.
And then I went ahead and just mowed it. I dropped the setting on the mower and just cleaned everything up to try to pull out some of the dead stuff, and a lot of that debris, just the little pieces of leaves that I couldn't get to, all the acorn bits from the squirrels chewing them up, and just all that crap that kind of just inevitably ends up in my yard. Went and cleaned all that stuff up, and it was looking pretty good. And just kind of waiting now. But I figured I was like, I might as well just put it down, even though the soil temperatures weren't right at 55, because I had mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I've missed the mark on that, because the problem, I think, for me, and wait until it hits like 55, is it's like I'm going out there and I'm looking at the soil temperature like every day, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, I'm creeping up on it, and then by the time it's like a 1 day thing where all of a sudden it just jumps up, and I start seeing little weeds come up, and I'm like, oh crap, I gotta go out there and do it. And I've missed the mark a couple of years now, so I was like, well, you know what, I'll do it earlier this year rather than try to time it perfectly and then run the risk of doing it late. So I did do pre-emergent. I did the Anderson's barricade.
I like it. I like that.
And I figured it should just sit there, right? Am I wrong? Should just sit there.
I think you're good. I think it was a good idea. Honestly, I've done that before. Because I'm actually, now in my mind, I'm thinking, shit, I need to get this down. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to miss it. Yeah. Even if I'm a little early, maybe you don't get as much, duration of protection. But I don't know. I think as long as you get past, a certain point, you're good. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
I've always said I'd rather be a little bit early on that than a little bit late.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, if you late, then you just missed the window of opportunity.
Yeah,
especially if
post-emergent rather than pre-emergent.
If it's programming.
Early you'll prevent most of it, at least. Even if you get a few pop through at the end, hopefully you got a nice thick turf by then, and it's not going to really pop through. So.
Yeah.
Justin, do you do a pre-emergent around here? Have you?
Nope.
You usually do one?
I've done one. Last year, man, I got all into like putting all the crap on my lawn. Mm-hmm. So last year I was like, you know what? All this old girl needs is some nitrogen. And that's dang near all I did in the front yard. Backyard's a little different.
Beat it up and feed it.
Yeah. That's right. All. Yeah, just got a lot of urea and ammonium sulfate at different intervals. Every once in a while, I do some like micros and stuff, but for the most part, I just let her do her thing, and it was beautiful. Yeah. The backyard, though, I throw everything at it. I'll probably do some pre-emergent back there here, hopefully soon. A couple months at the rate we're going.
Right. Sometime
yeah. But I got areas in the backyard I want to seed too, so I gotta figure out. I gotta nail down my plan, which usually means as soon as it's warm enough, I have to nail down that plan in 3 hours and then do it.
Start that day.
Yeah, I'm not much of a planner. I just wing it.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I did plan the pre-emergent, and I planned insofar as, like I said, when I was putting down the pre-emergent, I was like, oh, okay, like, where's my spreader casting to, right on the right side? And then I just made sure that I was like, I don't know, maybe 3 feet off that south fence line that I was talking about, so that, I can go ahead and throw a little bit of seed down, but I still got to get out there and prep it. But in the next couple of weeks, it's like, I don't know if I'm going to have time to really do it. I was thinking about going camping this weekend, and, next weekend's Easter. I'm going to be probably at my in-laws. So kind of like, see when I get to it.
And what you said about missing the window, dude, like every time.
Yeah.
Every year I do that. I'm like, oh man, like we're at 40 degrees, and all of a sudden next time I look, it's the grass or the soil temps at like 95. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, because it's like it's colder one weekend, and then you're like, well, there's no way it's going to warm up in a week. So you don't go back out, and you don't recheck your soil temperature, and then you wait till the following week, and then it's like, well, shoot, now soil's like 58 degrees.
Oh,
what the hell happened? It jumps up. It jumps up in like a week.
Air temps here will still be pretty cold, but like that sun is just beating down on it, and all of a sudden it'll just like take off. So you get like one good day, and you're like, oh wow, I missed that window, like just like that. So I feel you there.
So when we talk about the window of soil temperatures and trying to time your applications and all that stuff, I mean, you kind of got to take that with a grain of salt. I mean, at least that's what I've found, being in the Northeast, is that I kind of have to take that idea with a grain of salt and be like, okay, well, at least I'm looking at it, but trying to time it, perfectly and be like, okay, it's, soil's 53 degrees. Let me get my pre-emergent down. Come on, unless you're out there, every day or even twice a day. I mean, realistically, because I guarantee you, I mean, I just see it in the color of my grass over the last week. This time last week, it was not as green as it is now, because we had, multiple days like this past weekend. Absolutely beautiful outside. It was, really the last 2 weekends. It was like, and then it'll get cold during the week, and then Saturday and Sunday, the last 2 weekends, beautiful days. I mean, it was like 65, 67 degrees on
wow.
I wish.
Sunday was a beautiful day here. I was down at my in-laws' house, and like my we're all outside playing. I was shooting hoops with my kids. They're like, I'm hot. My 10-year-old taking his shirt off. He's out shooting baskets in the driveway. It is a nice day. Like, it really was beautiful. So I mean, we get a couple days like that thrown in there, and what's that doing to the soil temperatures? I mean, it was just especially in the parts of the yard where it's taken that full sunlight. Dude, I'm sure that those soil temperatures are just like skyrocketing in a matter of a couple of days.
100%. Dude, it was 52, and you see what I'm wearing: shorts and a vest. Like, I'm so ready, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom,
it's like the warmest day we've had.
That's a good point. I know people use the bush as a cue to when to put the pre-em down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been paying attention to, like on my ride to and from work. We've had a lot of blooms start coming up, and lower bushes starting to bud out. Like, it's go time.
I don't know. We have such a crazy. I mean, it's a roller coaster. I mean,
nothing's consistent, and that's why you got to look for that 3, 4, 5 day average to really start dialing it in.
Well, and that's a good point too of, that was brought up in the chat, and, that you guys are saying. I mean, that's a really good point, is not even just looking and saying like, oh, what are the soil temps? Let me go ahead and look at the soil temps, but also really looking around and looking at the foliage and saying like, okay, well, what's the earth doing, and what are all the living things that are growing from the earth doing? And I kind of had that same thought. So it's kind of funny you brought that up. I kind of had that same thought this morning. I was, got up, put the coffee on. I was standing there, let my dog out, and I always stand by my back window, and I'm looking out in the backyard, and I was like, oh, I can actually, from my house, from my back window, I can see that the trees are starting to bud. And like my big trees back there, I could see the buds on the trees. I was like, oh wow, that happened quick.
Yeah.
I think, and it's so funny. I think that like every spring, right? Like I'm saying, every spring I think that like, oh, when did that happen, right? But I had that same kind of thought of like, oh, okay, things are starting to wake up, regardless of what I think the soil temperature is, or what I read it out to be the other week, or yesterday, or whatever the case may be. Like, things are starting to wake up. So that's a really good point.
Are you guys actually probing the thermometer in your grass to check temperature? Or are you just going off of like online or air temperature or anything like that?
I did a few weeks back, and then my neighbor, I posted on one of my stories, and my neighbor ratted on me that I was using my wife's thermometer in her yard.
I get yelled at every year for that.
Yeah.
The same thing, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, anytime I'm smoking meats, I just pull the thermometer out of the meat, stick it in the ground. I mean, it's just dirt. Dirt don't hurt. You stick it right back in that pulled pork. It's gonna be fine.
That's right.
Yeah, but knowing your dirt, you probably pissed in that spot.
Yeah.
Justin's testing over on his pee spot.
Did you see me just leave to go pee out the back door?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Oh, my poor neighbors.
Oh, God bless them.
No, I kind of just go off air temp, and sometimes I'll probe it if I just want to. But I mean, I'll go off air temp and just kind of what I'm seeing. Like you talked about the drive to work, and that's real life for me. Like when I'm driving to work,
yep,
that's almost relaxing. I'm just checking out all the I got fields I'm driving by. I'm looking at trees. I'm looking at this person's house, this person's yard, and I'm just checking it out. And you can just see them. You can just see the changes. You know when it's time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can tell when she's waking up.
Yeah, we're all grass holes. You see your neighbors. If your neighbor's starting to green up a little quicker than yours, you start going, "Oh, okay, all right. we got to do a little something here."
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't happen to us, but normal people would see that. And
right.
Of course, ours are green first.
Yeah, right.
What are you doing? Speak for yourself, pal. No, so the only other thing that I really have to do, I mean, we all looked at my soil temp the other week, or my soil test results the other week when we were talking about soil tests, and I do need to probably put some gypsum down this year. What kind of recommendations do you guys have in terms of timing for that, or does it matter?
I like Thursdays.
All right.
Sorry, I know nothing about gypsum.
Makes as much sense to me. I don't know.
I don't know if it necessarily has a quote unquote preferred time. I think probably spring or fall would be your best, just with the moisture, and you're going to get it worked into the soil better.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Jason Smith in the chat, but he was spitting a ton of information on gypsum either last week or 2 weeks ago. If you're friends with him or anything, definitely be worth checking him out and maybe pulling his ear for a minute.
Yeah. Because the way I've kind of understood it is it doesn't necessarily matter the bigger, in terms of what else you're applying or temperatures or anything like that, but more so moisture, approaching it from a moisture standpoint. So that's the way I've always understood it.
Sodium?
What's that?
Are you putting it down to leach your sodium? Is that what you said?
Yep. Yeah, because I have high sodium in the soil. So that's the plan for that, is to try to put some gypsum down. So my plan is I'm going to get it here soon.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that sound means it is time to announce Lawn of the Week.
Ooh.
For those that don't know, this is a weekly contest. It's out on Instagram. And if you feel like you have a great looking lawn, let's see it by using the hashtag KOTG Lawn of the Week. Oh, yes. Like a dress there for a second.
I love that.
That's
perfect.
You need to put more hair. Never mind. You don't have hairy bits.
Nope. I know.
Out of a joke, you got to put a lot of hair under there.
On Instagram, use the hashtag KOTG Lawn of the Week. Post it in a post or a reel, and we take a look at them and determine who wins the prize of Pro-Pete fertilizer. Pro-Pete's been gracious enough to been doing this for almost 2 years now. Have given out a lot of bags of fertilizer to our viewers. Mm-hmm. So big shout out to Pro-Pete for continuing to do that.
That's right. They're back this year.
They're back.
They're still with us.
And you can do your choice of NPK for Pro Pete off the Home Depot website, or you can choose their new product, Fossil, Phosul, which is an amazing product as well. You can put that down. So you got two options to choose from.
Yeah, I saw Natty Lawn went with the Fossil, didn't he?
Yep. Yeah, Natty Lawn.
I saw that. I was wondering if he did.
Yeah.
Posted a Instagram post about putting it down. So putting some Fossil down on his yard.
I got a bag hanging around. I got a bag hanging around over there that I need to figure out timing. Got to plan when I'm going to put that down.
Damn,
But more important than any of that, you get access to the exclusive Lawn of the Week Discord, which just happened to pop up. I'm on my phone right now, and it popped up a notification from someone chatting in there.
Yeah, tell them about it. Tell them about this Discord.
Yeah, what's that all about?
We don't talk about this enough.
Yeah, we don't talk about it for a reason.
Yeah, don't tell him too much.
Okay.
It's just a bunch of unprofessional dudes talking nothing but lawn care. Definitely no trash talk or anything. Just professional.
No inappropriate.
It's definitely
PhD level.
It's fine. It's just normal stuff. I mean,
knowledge.
Yeah, we don't make fun of anyone or nothing, but
nobody gets put.
Yeah, we don't do timeouts or any of that rude stuff. We're respectful of everyone's feelings, and so it's great. It's a great time.
Sounds like a place you want to be.
Leave your feelings at the login.
Yes, please.
So if you want to join that exclusive Discord chat with all of these guys, you got to have a nice lawn and use the hashtag KOTG Lawn of the Week. So this week's winner, first-time winner, haven't seen him around for a while, but it is Alexander Hahn, Haun. He is AHAUN number 12 on Instagram. Congratulations, Alexander.
I better write that down.
Good shade.
Looking better than mine. Well done, sir.
And this song jams at the end.
Yeah, you're just going to want to listen to it while looking at the lawn. Congrats.
That thing's looking great.
Before the show,
Yeah, that looks awesome.
I seen I had a DM with you from 2021. So, yeah, I know you've been around for a while, so definitely deserve it.
So, congratulations. Join us live chat, and you'll be joining the Discord here pretty soon. Drunk Lawn Guy will send you out a invite to that soon. Actually, he's
in the
right
chat.
there.
All right.
That's
awesome.
Anyone notice those Nates? Those are those stripes are straighter than Nate's.
Oh,
just saying.
It is pretty straight.
Lasers.
That's
damn straight.
Well, Nate will be happy.
That's
that
good
straight
looking.
stripes,
tell us
for
what you know with how many inches you got a striped kit.
What kind of grass it is. Give us the lowdown in the chat.
Throw it in the chat.
Since you're here.
Throw it in the chat.
So for those that are still wanting to join that club, keep up. Don't quit. Lawns are only going to get better from here. Use that hashtag. I know Papa Mose was talking about joining he wants to join the club, and there's a couple other ones out there. So just use that hashtag and you're good to go.
Yeah, man. That's the best part of the growing season is looking at everybody's crazy lawns. Because I mean, listen, there's a ton of you guys are doing it way better than I'm doing it. So I like looking at everybody's lawns, everybody that's using the hashtag, and keeps me motivated to keep getting out there and trying to make it better and keep up. I couldn't win a lawn of the week, so great job, everybody.
He's using a 48-incher.
Dang.
Yeah, he's got some property.
Liberties.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and that hashtag it has over 1,000 posts on it. So I mean, I know a lot of them are like duplicate, and I'll use it every now and then, and So, but I mean, that's a lot of.
I was just saying, you use the hashtag KOTG Lawn of the Week too. So
And I
How
never
close
win.
are you?
What the,
I know, man.
what the hell?
Step it up, Olee.
I gotta step my
No,
game up.
I was checking out the hashtag today, man. Like, and just looking at what's been posted in the last week, like there's some strong competition. And I'm over here, my grass is still dormant. I'm like, oh man, I'm screwed. I don't even have a chance.
Yeah, there's some.
Yeah,
there's some
it's
good
picking
ones.
up early. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we might
Somebody
be
was
lucky
telling
that
me that-
our warm season time will actually be our good cool season growing time. We might actually get to the summertime around August or so.
Yeah, maybe with a little luck, huh?
Yeah, what were you saying, Olee?
Somebody was telling me for like our area here, we were like 4 weeks ahead of schedule as far as temperatures and all. And I believe it because, you know, we were super warm, and then not last week, but the week before is when it dropped. And we had several nights in the 20s. So everything that was popping and blooming and jumping, you know, got burnt. And, you know, I know y'all were talking about the bush earlier. So I've got older neighbors that have, I can't say that name, so I'm just going to have to call it the F.
That's the same with me. Same with me. That's why I said it.
I can't say it. But anyway, it didn't bloom until, to me, until later than actually what soil temperature was, because I mean, the weather's crazy. Like my neighbor's an older gentleman, and one day we were talking about, you know, the birds that fly south and all that stuff. And he's a bird watcher, and he was telling me about these birds, and he's like, man, they should have been gone, you know, this was a while back. And I'm like, well, they're confused. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, yesterday I had shorts on. Today I'm bundled up with a toboggan and everything. I was like, who knows what to do? I mean, I don't know. Like, you know, people ask me questions, and I can't base it on last year or the year before, because I mean, the weather's just stupid. I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so you're 4 weeks ahead. We're probably about 8 weeks behind. So
that's what I know. It's crazy. And that's just like I was talking to y'all last week with all that snow and stuff. I don't see how y'all ain't depressed as all get out. I got to get outside and goof off and mess around. Yeah,
just
drink.
Here.
Yeah.
We are depressed. We just drink through it.
We just mask it well.
Job. You're doing a great job, man. Doing a great
No,
job.
man, like I feel like our air temperatures are like weeks behind, like Brian said, but then we've had so much moisture. Usually it's so dry. Like last year I was so dry. My grass took forever to come out of dormancy, and there was no moisture in it. But this year it's going to be moist. So as soon as those temperatures hit, I think that lawn's going to just take off. So I can't wait, man.
We won't get a spring flush. We'll get a spring flood, and it'll just go quick and fast. So
that's crazy that you say that. Like, we are already for this physical year over 11 inches of rain already this year, and that's you know, like that little weather station. I love it. I watch it and study it, and it is crazy to think that we've already got almost a foot of rain.
Yeah,
3 months in. You know,
and that's crazy.
We were dry as of last weekend. We were dry. Weatherman said we were like down 2 or 3 inches on the year, but then I got 2.5 inches in the last 5 days.
Wow.
Congrats, man.
Hey, that's all I've got to give.
You gotta be proud of what you got.
That's right.
You gotta be proud of
pretty good.
But in all seriousness, I don't even know if we got 11 inches of rain last summer. You know, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weather's been nuts this year, man. I love it.
So what, you guys in Utah, you guys normally get heavy rain in the spring?
Really?
Flood, like you're like
we've been in a drought, man, for a while now.
20 plus years.
Like over a decade. It's been,
yeah. I mean, the last this year for snow totals is breaking records that are 30 years old. Like,
don't y'all have a lake? Don't y'all have a lake that was like super low that they were talking about?
Yeah, the Salt Lake.
Yeah,
The Great Salt Lake, and then there's a Utah Lake. They're all low.
So with all this snow and stuff melting, then
Uh,
that should help that out.
Well, yeah, just even before the snow melted, the Great Salt Lake has risen 2 feet just this winter, just from
That's awesome.
rain and snow. Just in
Yeah, I
there.
saw an article today that was talking about California, and it's like, yeah, reservoirs are full. You know, just
Did you see all the flooding
obviously
they're having?
California has been
yeah,
dumped on. You know, they've had a lot of problems, but yeah, it's just interesting to watch those. Like
That's what's going to be scary come like true spring is flooding, mudslides. It's going to get wild.
So if you live in Utah right now, you're getting your city's notifying you already. Like every city, hey, we got sandbags. Here's what we do if there's flooding. Every city, it's going to be a rough spring. And then the scary part about that is everything grows like crazy in the spring, all the mountains, and then if we get to August, everything dries out.
wildfires.
Sparks start flying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those
it could be bad.
tumbleweed party.
Yeah, the tumbleweed's going to be crazy this year, man. Tumbleweed.
He's
something
almost-
we didn't talk about, and that
almost
I've
16 inches
actually
around.
talked about an agenda, and I kind of left this off my agenda. But so I was covered in snow for a good month, and then we weren't covered in snow, and I really didn't get around my whole lawn. But I realized I have vole tracks everywhere. Actually, even in my front lawn, and I swear there's like a new trail every day. And I actually saw it. I was out drinking a coffee, just kind of sipping it, you know, looking at the lawn, and I seen it. I threw my coffee cup at it. I didn't get it, and it's gone.
What a waste of coffee.
It was my first instinct. It was right in front of me. I really thought I could hit it.
Well, Zach, you need to also go out there with a 20 gauge.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We need to get you a shotgun.
I just need a shovel to smash. I just need a shovel to smash the fucker. I mean, it'd be easy, but I just need to see it. He's quick.
Behind the stripe just commented he caught 2 moles already this year.
Wow.
Yeah,
That dude's been killing them with the traps that he got.
Wow.
It's like last year I had a few trails, and then after I mowed a couple times, they just disappeared. But
What kind of traps is he running? I seen something the other day. It's like I'm trying to remember what it's called, but it's a tube with a spring, and then at the bottom it's got like a wire loop. And when they get in it, the wire loop gets them instead of the pinching type.
Oh, is that right?
What it was called. Yeah,
I can't
Must be
remember what
really
he's
good.
got. There,
Mole
he just said it's a
eliminator.
mole eliminator.
Yeah, mole eliminator.
yeah,
It's a beast.
I mean, I've heard of people putting in hawks in their lawn and stuff, like little decoys and stuff to keep them away.
I don't see how that works because they under the ground.
Yeah, they
And I don't
pop,
even
like,
think
when I saw them running-
moles got. I don't think a mole's got eyes. No,
For real?
vole might.
Really?
A vole might, but I don't think a mole.
Vole.
I mean,
it was a vole because it was gray. I know it was gray. It wasn't a mole. It was a vole, but it wasn't actually like a tunnel. It's kind of like a tunnel. It was like a trench. They're building like trenches in my lawn,
Mhm.
and
Trench warfare.
yeah,
Yeah, they hang out
Old
right in
gummy
that
worm.
top layer, dude.
yeah, right. That's exactly it.
Yeah. They'll just
And
make
they
a
make
mess.
a mess. Yeah, I didn't
So-
think moles. I didn't think moles had eyes.
Billy Ray Jr. says, "Give him the old gummy worm."
I bought those gummy worms before.
Did they work?
They're. I
Billy
haven't
Ray
had any.
Jr., that is a country star for sure, dude.
Oh, he absolutely is.
What kind of gummy
Yeah,
worms are you
dude.
talking about?
All right.
It's
I'm gonna give him some of my gummy worms.
no,
That's
not
some
that.
kind of
different
country
type of gummy
country
worm.
album slang, dude.
Yeah, you give him some of the gummy worms, they might eat more of your grass.
Right.
Don't give them your gummy worms.
Yeah.
They'll be coming back
They'll
every
get the
night.
munchies, and then it's going to
Yeah.
really be
Eat
bad.
more.
And they'll really rip your lawn up.
That's funny.
See, the sad part is I was always under the impression that if you had grubs, you had moles.
Mm.
Well, I've got my grub situation cleaned up, but I do have a mole. They love
You got
earthworms.
Yeah,
I got a
earthworms.
ton of earthworms.
Hmm.
I mean, like when it rains here, the driveway is covered in earthworms.
That's crazy.
Getting out of the ground or whatever. So if you see them, it don't necessarily mean you have grubs. So that was my way of thinking.
Yeah.
But I have tons of earthworms.
So talking about grubs, Bobby wants to know when's the best time to target those.
I'm gonna spray acetoprin next
I was
month.
gonna say it depends what you're running.
Yeah,
I'm going back.
I was gonna say Wednesday and then gypsum Thursday, but
Wednesday grubs,
back to
Thursday
back.
gypsum.
Jeez.
but I'm kind of an idiot, so
At least give a day in between.
Prodiamine Tuesdays.
you can't do Tuesdays. We're obviously
that's
busy
correct.
on Tuesdays.
No, this is
Thursday and Saturday.
All right, we can do Thursday and Saturday.
all right.
That's fair.
I actually bought some Grub-X this year, so I'm going to put some down because my park strip area got a little bit, and I think it came over from some of the neighbors because they had some damage in their park strips as well. And then I have another neighbor just a couple houses down, like his whole front yard got just eaten up. It's like he just ripped out most of his front yard. So I just want to make sure I put some of it down so like I don't have to get it from them.
Well, and Grub-X is actually a celloprene, exactly what Olee just said. That's the main ingredient in Grub-X. So, I mean,
yeah, so it'll give you the early season and a little bit of extended control.
Okay.
So yeah, that's perfect.
What's funny to me is Brian, like on the neighborhood Facebook page, people are like, "What's happening with my lawn?" And Brian's like, "You need to do this," and then they won't do it. And then they're just mad that their lawn's dead. And I'm like, the guy told you what to do.
It's
You just didn't listen.
Facebook group.
Do you know who this is?
You know who you're speaking to.
All right,
I obviously don't
just
say
put the
that.
link. I just put the KOTG link on there so they can watch
That's
the
right.
YouTube.
You
Oh,
did
then
really?
they see their drunk neighbor.
No, just kidding. Yeah.
Like,
there's
ugh.
two of your neighbors on the show tonight, so
I still can't believe you guys
Check it
are
out.
freaking neighbors. That's insane.
How wild is that,
That's
dude?
insane, man.
Isn't it?
That's so
Like,
wild.
that's
I
like
mean,
lightning
there's
strike.
people all over the world listening to this, like Denmark or whatever.
Yeah, we're number one in Denmark. And
Number one in
they-
Denmark.
We're having to be neighbors.
And Brian and I could
That's
throw a
insane.
wrench in his house.
We might as well. It's like might as well win the lottery, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Those odds, same odds. Yeah, Lawn Radiance. I actually bought my big bag of Grub-X from Costco. They had a good deal on it. It was like $40 or something for a 50-pound bag of it, which with the size of my yard is going to take a while to get through. Hopefully, it lasts more than a season.
I'm sure if you
Doesn't go
keep
bad.
it dry and in a cool place.
Yeah.
I bought it on clearance before and kept it.
Acetoprin is mainly for the army worms.
Mhm.
That fella's asking.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
Wagner.
Yeah, you won't get burned again with that.
Never again.
Lesson learned, baby.
Yep,
And I can
never
tell you
again.
what's really crazy is I done that app last year, and because of the year before getting eat up by the army worms, and it was crazy because when the summer started coming on, we normally you can see like the June bugs and all that stuff flying above the yard. None here, but across the street and to the left and the right, they were swarming, man. They were swarming. So major thing there. So
I think
This
it's
year,
scheduled
we
to
will-
go off patent here soon too. So generics will be
really?
available in reduced prices.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay.
What's he doing over by the garage door?
What you doing there,
What?
Justin?
What are you doing?
I thought I saw something cool.
Your shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truth.
6
I-
more
I
weeks
was-
of
I
winter
was
for
peeing
Utah.
out this door, and I came in and forgot that you guys were here.
Justin's gonna start an OnlyFans of just like hanging out in the garage.
I thought I was just listening. I
Those
forgot
kids.
I was here as a participant. Whoops.
It's gonna be OnlyFans with the skin colored clothes on. This would be a trickery.
Oh man.
Hey man,
Hey,
if you
so
can
next
make some money, do it.
Yeah,
right.
Hey,
you're a millionaire.
People like those clean pits.
yeah.
That's right.
Some people have a foot fetish. Some people have armpit fetish. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to try, but I don't know. Scared for people to recognize me and be like, dude, is that making pits? Come over here.
Plus, being a
Old Smoke
president,
Pits over there. There he is.
That's our president.
right?
$5 for pictures.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
Hey, so next week we are bringing back on a company guest. We are bringing on Earth Fort. You can look them up on Instagram to learn a little more. They do consulting, they do soil testing, they have some products. They do a lot of agriculture and regenerative type stuff. Currently, the founder who's coming on next week, he just recently was in Kenya doing tests on some agricultural land there. Yeah, they're gonna come on and be a little different type of episode.
Yeah,
No, that's cool.
still bringing companies on during the season.
I'll try to show my
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Soil brought to life. We need that in Utah.
Yeah,
Just dead, nasty, whatever. I just live here. We'll make do.
Earth Fort. Yeah, that's cool. I'm guessing they're on Instagram too, right? Just Earth Fort.
Yes, that's Earth Fort LLC.
All right. Everybody go give them a follow in anticipation of next week. Give them some love. They're going to come on and share their story and what they're up to, what they do.
Earth Fort LLC.
That's the beginning of this.
So Earth Fort was originally
This is
Earth
coming on.
Fortification Supplies Company. And it really wanted to create a company that was focused on the living component of the soil and not just on fertilizers. So when we're dealing with the soil and telling people
Is
that
this
it's
the
alive,
founder?
it's
Yes.
not enough to just say it's alive. We have the laboratory to test it.
Dude, you can
to
play
show 'em what's
videos.
going on in that soil.
Yeah.
Those balances
And
of
still
those
be on the
living
screen.
organisms are an important factor to help us.
I have some
determine-
thoughts.
What do you think we talked about last week?
Right? He's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I have this great idea.
Yeah,
I'll talk to you
I
guys
don't know where he
afterwards."
went, but it makes me nervous.
I say we need a presidential address.
So
That's right.
We need the music, and he needs, the whole deal.
Things are working. Things are coming.
Wheels are turning.
That's your
Yeah.
cue.
bring some questions next week. We're talking soil. What the heck is going on there?
Who's got the weather alert?
Beep, beep, beep.
Is that the how many beers drank alert stacked up there?
Emergency broadcast.
You getting a
Keep off
fact?
the grass. Emergency broadcast system. The important message.
From
All right, guys.
President.
Wrapping it up.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Well, everybody, thanks for joining us.
Yes. Thanks for
Zach, you
bringing
need to
your
get you
to-do
some
list.
biscuits.
Even if you might have been a little late,
I want some.
like me.
It's good.
We appreciate all you live chat for coming in each week and talking to us about your plans too. So join us next week with Earth Fort and make it a great week in the lawn.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
See you next week at 112.
Go Hawks.